Welcome. You are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 9 in the National Football League. It's chilly outside, but it's about to get hot in the lab room. Tennessee Titans taking on the St. Louis Rams. I talked to the Titans and I told them in the preview for this game, look, you want respect? You want me to listen to you talk about potentially making a push for the playoffs? Beat the St. Louis Rams, get back to 500 on the season. I don't hear you if you're not at 500. And so I told the Titans, look, this is a beat-up St. Louis Rams team, but they're feisty. They're going to fight. It's a Jeff Fisher coach team. And you know that. You've had Jeff Fisher roam the sidelines for you. So I don't need to tell you what Jeff Fisher brings to the table and what this football team that he is coaching is going to bring to the table, minus Sam Bradford. Kevin Clemens, I thought, played a solid football game on Monday Night Football. Zach Stacy has been outstanding for this St. Louis Rams football team. You needed to come in, play the defense that has gotten you 3 wins on the season, and leave the offense at home that is taking you to 4 losses and get back to 500 on the season. If you're the St. Louis Rams, you're just trying to find a way to get a win, try to find a way to stay afloat. Sam Bradford isn't coming back this season, but you want to see guys step up. You want to know who's going to be here for the long haul and who is not. So let's take a look at what unfolded in week number 9 in St. Louis as the Tennessee Titans came to town to take on the St. Louis Rams. So you start this game out, and I talked about needing to get this ground game going for the Tennessee Titans. Get Chris Johnson out of space. I've talked about this several times. Get this man in space. He's still one of the most electrifying players in the National Football League when you get him out in space. Ground game and penalties lead Titans down the field as Sean Green caps off the drive with the 5-yard touchdown run at 7-0 Titans. And this was an impressive drive for a couple of reasons. Number one, they got the ground game going on this drive. And number two, it takes pressure off of Jake Locker. Again, I don't feel like Jake Locker is back to where he was. And honestly, I don't know if he'll get back. He was playing at a tremendously high level before the injury. And so I don't know if he'll get back to that or not. I told you and I warned you that you might not see that Jake Locker again once he comes back from the knee and hip injury. You might not see that guy. He's still running around. He's still going to try to make plays with his legs. But the Jake Locker pre-injury was tuned in mentally as well as physically. Throwing the football, he wasn't making mistakes. He wasn't throwing the football into bad situations and allowing the football to be turned over. He was making smart decisions. He was seeing the field well, and he was anticipating throws and making great decisions on the football field. I don't know if you'll get that guy back or not, but I do know that if you run the football effectively, you will lessen the chances of Jake Locker making mistakes, and you'll put him in situations to succeed more so than asking him to go out and make a play on 3rd and 9 when he's got to drop back and throw it. Keep him in 3rd and manageable, and you might get a lot more production out of your quarterback position. So this first drive did a lot for me in this game because I want to see the ground game get off the field and really start putting together drives for this Tennessee Titans offense. Run the football, get Chris Johnson out of space, and then Sean Green can help complement him. You're not paying this guy for nothing. Get Sean Green the football as well. And so I was glad to see the running game get off the ground in the first possession. It's 7-0 Tennessee. Benny Cunningham fumbled, kills an early promising drive for the St. Louis Rams. I don't think the exchange on this handoff from Clemens to Cunningham was clean at all. And so your end result was the ball just came out and it was recovered by the Tennessee Titans. And you were already in scoring position, so that one hurts if you're St. Louis. Can't afford. Look, you're not a good enough football team to turn the football over when you're in scoring position. Every point counts. And so even if that drive only yielded a field goal, it's something versus nothing. And again, in the National Football League, the difference can be a point or two. And so you not getting a field goal, at least an attempt. Hey, if you missed the field goal, at least you can say, hey, it's on the kicker. You didn't even get a chance because you guys, and I want to say it was a bad exchange, but Benny Cunningham puts it on the ground. It's recovered by the Titans. So Rams get the football again. Zach Stacy gets into the end zone on a very balanced drive. First rush touchdown of the season, not only for Zach Stacy, but for the Rams. They, as a team, they haven't gotten into the end zone, and that shows you the ineptitude of this football team running the football in the red zone. Not a very effective team, but Zach Stacy is a guy that can help you change all of that, and you saw that in this game. It's knotted up at 7 after the touchdown run by Zach Stacy, and I'll talk about him a little bit later on in this breakdown, but I thought this was a balanced drive. Kellen Clemens started out this game sharp. I want to believe he started out this game 7 for 7. He was sharp early on, and on this drive, you saw the effects of that. If he can throw the football, if he can remain confident and make teams respect him as a quarterback in the pocket, it's going to open up lanes for your running back, Zach Stacy. And so, end result on that drive is a touchdown. They were knotted up at 7. Cortland Finnegan picks off Locker right before the half. Didn't hurt because of a missed field goal by Greg Zuerlein, and Young Jeezy has to get back in gear. This Rams team needs him to put points on the scoreboard. He has to get back to the form that had people buzzing last season about his leg. He's got to make field goals. And he didn't put it through the uprights on this one, so it didn't hurt. But I want to talk about this for a second because this is what I'm talking about with Jake Locker. 3 timeouts, 50 seconds left on the clock, so you got plenty of time. Your own 27-yard line, second down. So you've got downs, you've got time, and you've got timeouts. No excuse for this pass right here. Into double coverage. You can't do that. You cannot do that right before the half and give the other team an opportunity. If this is a good football team, if this is the Indianapolis Colts that you throw this pick against, this is turning into a touchdown right before the half. Not a missed field goal attempt. You don't get away unscathed against the good teams in the league. You can't do this. Jake Locker has to be better than that, and that's what I'm talking about. Taking the pressure off of him because these kind of mistakes can't happen if you want to go anywhere this season if you're the Tennessee Titans. Jake Locker cannot make mistakes like that one. Zach Stacy, second rush touchdown of the day and of the season, of course, being that the Rams hadn't had any coming into the game, puts the Rams up 14-7 on the initial drive of the second half for the St. Louis Rams. So, boom, you come out of the locker room, you put the ball back in the hands of Zach Stacy, and let's talk about him for a second. I mean, I talked to my man C-Dub about this, and he talked about it. I said, man, what's up with Zach Stacy? And this was pre-Carolina, so I want to say this was Jacksonville. And he had jumped off the screen of me in that Jacksonville game, and I said, wait, what's up with Zach Stacy? And C-Dub said, and he's a Rams fan, of course, and he said, look, man, he's changed the identity of this football team. And I did a little bit of probing after C-Dub said that to me, and sure enough, I went looking and I found some quotes, and guys like Sam Bradford were like, look, man, he's changed the whole attitude of this team. This guy has given us a pep in our step. He's given us a little bit of bounce. We have balance now. We can go out, we can scare teams with the running game, set up play action fake, and I can drive the ball down the field to some of these guys. And so he changed this team when he came into the lineup and was playing. And again, 5th round draft pick out of Vanderbilt. Nobody expected him to come into the league and do what he is doing right now. But Zach Stacy is performing at a very high level for this St. Louis Rams team. And I tell you what, if not for the injury to Sam Bradford, this team could scare some people this season, and they still will. But I tell you what, you've got something you can build on right here at the running back position with Zach Stacy. And he played well in this game. Rams now up 14-7 off of the second rush touchdown of the day of the season for Zach Stacy and his Rams offense. So CJ2K ties it up at 14 with the TD run after Colin Mooney fullback screen gets them set up in the red zone. I love fullback screens because nobody's expecting the fullback to peel off of a block and catch the football and have blockers out in front with a little bit of space to work with. That's why they work so effectively. I said this last week when Kansas City ran one for Anthony Sherman and it worked and they scored a touchdown off of it. You do it here and it works because it catches teams off guard. How often are you looking for the fullback to catch a screen pass? Not often. It worked here, got you deep into the red zone. Chris Johnson takes it from there, gets in the end zone. It's 14 all. And when he's getting space like this, he's no longer Chris Johnson. He's CJ2K. And he looked like that in this football game because of the number one key thing that I talk about all the time: space. You give him space, watch him work. That's what happened in this game. It's 14-all. Jake Locker scrambles on 3rd down and goal and finds his way into the end zone on another Titans drive, caps that off with that touchdown run. It's now 21-14. Titans take the lead. And that's something that you'll get from Jake Locker. Hurt or not hurt, he's going to scramble. He's going to make things happen with his legs. And that's always something that I can respect from Jake Locker. If it's not there, tuck it and run. He was doing that very well early on in the season. And he was mixing it up. He was throwing the football well. He was making smart decisions. He was checking it down. He was giving his guys a chance to win one-on-one matchups down the field. And if it wasn't there, I love to tell quarterbacks that can run, run! And that's what he was doing, and that's what he did on this play. Titans now take a 21-14 lead. Huge Zach Stacy run with a personal foul tacked on leads to game-tying touchdown pass to Jared Cook Jr. We're knotted up at 21. And this is the type of run I'm talking about from Zach Stacy. This is what he's brought and infused this Rams rushing attack with. He gets the football, runs up the middle, lowers his shoulder, bounces off a defender, spins off another one, gets to the outside, stiff arms, gets down the sideline, cuts in. I mean, it's a beautiful run, gets knocked out of bounds, but it's not until he picks up about 37 yards on the play. Huge run, sets them up in scoring position. They move the ball down the field a little bit more. And great throw by Kellen Clemens. The anticipation, the zip on this pass, it had to be where it was. There was about 2 or 3 Titans defenders around Jared Cook Jr., and he zips it in there. And I tell you what, Kellen Clemens he's really impressing me. Like, I was surprised on Monday night because, again, Seattle Seahawks defense, they can get after you, they can make you make mistakes. He made some mistakes in the game, but he remained calm. He kept his poise, and that's what I expect out of a veteran quarterback. That's what you got in that game. That's what you got in this game. And I tell you what, you have yourself a quality backup in this league. And I tell you what, he's been around the league, but when you look for a veteran backup, you look for a guy that can come in and steady the ship. And I think Kellen Clemens, what's really surprising with him is his athletic ability. I didn't know he could move as well as he does. He's been moving. He's been creating with his legs. And so that throw in conjunction with him being able to move in and out of the pocket has really served this Rams team well since he's come into the lineup. That was a beautiful throw. We're all tied at 21, so the Rams hanging in. And look, this is what you can't do if you're Tennessee. You can't allow the Rams to hang around. That's how you lose football games at the end on the road. So Rams hanging in tough. Locker, late interception after big pickup to Kendall Wright. And see, this is what I'm talking about here. Late in the ball game, you let the Rams hang around. Now Jake Locker makes a mistake. He just completed a beautiful strike to Kendall Wright in about a 40-yard gain. You're driving, you're looking to get some points. He throws an inexplicable pick. I don't know where he was going with the football. I don't understand what he was looking at, what he was deciding to do on this play. But it was a bad throw either way. And so it's picked off. Rams have the football with a chance to take the lead. We're getting late into the ball game now. So this is a big play in the game right now. But this is an even bigger play. And here goes this Tennessee Titans defense bailing out this offense and this team again. They bailed them out earlier when Locker threw a pick right before the half. They held the Rams, didn't let them get any more yards, forced them to kick a field goal that they ultimately missed. Here we go again. Locker throws a pick. Rams have the football with the chance to do something. Jarrell Casey forces a fumble of Kevin Clemens, recovered by Derek Morgan. Very next play, CJ2K gets loose and scores the game-winning touchdown from 20 yards out. 28-21. That's the go-ahead score. Rams get the football. They've got a chance, just like they did on Monday night against Seattle. And they move the football down the field, just like they did against Seattle. This time, they didn't get as close. 4th down, they chuck it into the end zone, up to Austin Pettis. Good defense, no call, game over. Rams drop this one at home. Big win for Tennessee on the road. I said you needed to get this one. It's not a beauty pageant, okay? You don't have to look the most aesthetically pleasing with these victories. Just get them, put them in the left-hand column, and keep it moving. And that's what you did on the road against a very, feisty, scrappy St. Louis Rams team, 28-21. Titans get the victory. This was huge. You had to have this one. Could not afford to go on the road and drop this one and go to 3-5, especially with the way the division is shaping up in the AFC South. You needed to win this game and get back to 500. Big win for the Titans. Tough loss in a season full of tough losses for the St. Louis Rams. They dropped to 3-6 on the season. And so if you're the Titans, you did what you needed to do here. Now you need to build off of this win. So we'll see where they go from here with this win. But it was a win that was definitely necessary if you are the Tennessee Titans. And so if it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the Lab Room. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you here as I continue to break down week number 9 in the National Football League. Big win for the Tennessee Titans. I'm coming back. See you in a little bit.